let you know that I'm going to be the host tonight. So good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you're tuning in from. Welcome to our program again on Monday. I hope you all have a great weekend and you've pretty much been following the previous teaching and putting them into practice. So we're still in the month of July and we are still dealing with the next step in freedom. Just a quick recap on what we talked about last week. Our mentor told us how to merge the B word to the F word, the faith to the belief. And we talked about the belief circle. You have to believe it, and then you discover your potentials and you put action into it, and definitely it will yield the result. But specifically speaking about last week's topic, we talked about what's in your hand. And that really, I wasn't on the call last weekend, but I happened to watch the video over and over. I mean, that's the essence of the recording. Just before I proceed, if you're in a comfortable environment, please do well to turn your cameras on so we can see your handsome and beautiful faces. You can imagine me being the host and speaking without showing my face. It doesn't really look cool, right? So let's have our camera turned on. We already muted, which is good, so we don't get easily distracted with the background noise. But let's just have our camera turned on. And while I'm still talking, please, if you know one or two persons that would get some sort of value on the call, do well to ask them to jump in before I introduce the speaker for the day. So speaking of last week topic, we talked about what's in your hand. As we sojourn to the next step in freedom, what do we think we have in our hand? What do we have in our possession? And when I'm talking about what we have in hand, it doesn't necessarily have to be money. It might be an idea. I believe everybody that have ever achieved greatness have to see it in the eyes of their mind. It doesn't necessarily have to be money. It might be an idea. It might be a talent. It might be some other source of resources that you can transform into monetary terms. And I really pondered on that because I watched the video over and over and over. Sometimes in life, it's not all about what we thought we don't have, but it's actually what do we think, what's in our possession. And if we can, grow the little that we have, put it to work, we will definitely get more. And then our leader told us that we have to serve the world from what he taught last week. I drafted that we have to serve the world with what we have. And in return, the world will serve us with what we want. That's a win-win for us. Serve your word, the gift. I remember the Holy Book talked about when the disciples of Jesus was asking him about who is going to be great. He said, serve, render service, serve the word, and then you get what you want. And then we talked about the three cardinal keys to financial freedom. Number one is economic dependence. Number two is financial independence. And lastly, financial freedom. And I believe that we all have been putting this to practice one way or the other. It's not going to happen like a time bomb, boom. We just have to poco a poco, like they say, little by little, and then we will gradually get there. So having said that, Pastor Ruben, if you're on the call, I'm gladly handing over to you. Please put he loves 888, and this is my first time hosting, so it's a new beginning, and I'm a self-made enoch. So just give me 888, but actually I'm giving it back to him anyway. So can we just put 888? Welcome, Pastor Ruben. The call is all yours. Please take us away.
I love it. We got lots of 888s, guys, because this guy is on fire. I'm sitting back and I'm saying, Emmanuel, I want you to take next week because I love it. You can take it, and you excited me, and this is great. This is what we want the next generation to do, right? Hey guys, you like my new look? You're gonna rebrand yourself, right? You gotta. Today we're talking about rebranding ourselves, and I was cold, and I thought, how am I gonna dress warm. Ems told us we have to dress up. So I thought, hey, what if we just create a new brand? So I want you guys to do two things today as we get started. And please put lots of 888s to give encouragement to our brother as well, Emmanuel. He did such a great, I loved I mean, you were not even on and you listened and you re-listened and you not only very well summarized what we shared last week, but you also added what you got from it, and that is excellent, guys. I like it when we get an understanding of this is what I've got from it. If you're new today to the call, guys, would you please just put a one in the chat group, a triple one. If you're new to the call, this is your first time, we want to say thank you and welcome you. If you have invited someone here, I think Shalindra, you invited a guest. Please feel free to unmute and just introduce them. So we just want to say hi and make everyone feel welcome today before we get started. And I need cameras on before anyone does anything. Please, guys, we're family. Let's have cameras on unless you're in a country where there is terrible signal and you need to have the camera off. Otherwise, let's have cameras on. Let's see each other. Let's enjoy. It's good to see our brother Sandeep on as well. What a blessing. I was just thinking of you today and trying to say, hey, where have you been for a while? So good to have you on. Yeah, brother Shalindra, I think you have a guest that you invited.
Yeah, all right. Rajay joined from India, from India. So, Rajay, if you put your on and just say hi to everybody so we can look at you as well.
You are doing
Hello,
the
everyone.
funny. Hello, Rajay. Shalindra, bro, your voice is playing up like a
water
in India as well.
I jump out again, I think.
Let me stop my side. Brother Rajay, welcome. Good to see you, have you on as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Which part of India are you calling in from?
I am from middle part, Indore, Madhya Pradesh.
In Indra.
Madhya Pradesh, middle part of India.
Okay, haven't been there, haven't heard of the name. There you go. New place that I can get to go and visit. Welcome. Good to have you on the call with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Anyone else here for the first time? I noticed there's someone, Child. Is that someone we know or that's a new one? We want to just welcome them. If anyone brought them in, please just greet them. Oh, sorry, Mom Carol, you're in pain. We're going to just speak healing over that part of your body which needs to be healed right now. And we just release that healing over you.
Get the whole screen.
Darren, good to have Darren on. I want to welcome Darren. I think it is your first time on today. Anyone know who Wealth Child is? Love to say, good to see you, bro. All right, guys, try and keep your cameras on is great. Thank you for those who turned it on. For those who haven't, just encourage you to. That way we are all together as one family learning. And please just get your notepads out because today we're going to do a little bit on rebranding. So we want to write some questions and we're going to hear you guys as well as we in July. And there's some exciting things as Emmanuel pointed out about the next step in freedom. And thank you to those who've been kind of been having some conversations about what are there any particular topics you want covered as we go on through the year. And we want to be as practical as we can. But also one of the things that we're really noticing is, and how many of you maybe are in this boat or know someone who is, not knowing how to keep money. All right. So yes, saying I really need to make more money, but then also the question is, can we keep the money? All right. Making money is not a hard thing. I was just doing my taxes I had to redo taxes for the last 2 years plus one. So I'm eating the monster that I don't like. I'm facing my giant that I hate and I procrastinate on, which is doing my taxes. Anyone else like that? Or is it just me? I don't like doing taxes, but I like the outcome at the end, but I just don't like the whole process of having to do it and mark everything and do this and that. Some people really love it, but I don't. But I was just looking at the previous 2 years and the ability that we were able to generate from our family trust about $500,000, which was really good to see the last 2 years. Then we hit a snag this last financial year. But one thing I was excited about is whether you hit snags or not, is how do you handle where you're heading for the next step? Okay, and I don't say this to impress anyone. I say it just to impress upon you that making money is one thing, keeping it is another thing, And investing well is another. I was talking to someone in the recent past who had made about $500,000 in just like a few months, which is even more incredible. But I said, what have you invested in? And he said, it's all been spent.
Oh,
And he's not a gambler, but it's just been spent, right? Because if you don't have a way to invest, it'll just go. You guys agree? Makes sense. Okay, so it's important. How do we keep? On the other hand, I've met people who save until they're about to die, and then realize that they've got a few million sitting there that they haven't used. And so they, it's also important that we live a reasonably good lifestyle and comfortable lifestyle, but at the same time that if our expenses are lower than our income, that's what it needs to be. So it doesn't matter how much you earn, it's how much we spend. That's one of the biggest challenges that we have to be aware of. Does that make sense? And also doing smart things, using points, using ability to create, in most countries in Australia, and I'm sure other countries are following this. How many of you here, in the past we'd say don't use a credit card, don't get into debt. But if you can pay your credit card off every month, just like your expenses, use it as an expense card, not using someone else's money, but keep it as an expense card. If you say spend 5,000 for the month, use your credit card. Keep that 5,000 in your offset account, so it offsets your loan. And then when you pay your credit card off every month, as long as you haven't gone past it and have to pay that excess fees, you will get points. That points could help you towards flights, right? Could help you towards shopping. Anyone done that before? And sometimes you can get a card, like in Australia, I've got a card where if I spend for 12 months, I'll get an extra $750 in. So imagine if I pay off my card every month, apart from getting points to fly internally in Australia, what we call Qantas, the Qantas points, I'll also get an extra $750. So I'm using my card to make money. Would that be right? Okay. And then every month, rather than if you are diligent in it, you can put that money into against your home loan, and it's reducing your 7% or 9% or 5%, whatever your interest rates are. It's reducing that for the month, because how many of you know that your home loans are being calculated every day? Interest is being calculated every day, which is why I was always taught to pay weekly rather than monthly against my home loan, because every day your interest is being calculated. When you pay weekly, you're reducing your principal, and that can in itself shave off at least 8 years of a 30-year loan just by paying every week rather than paying every month. Is that news to anyone, or is that something everyone knew? News for Ross. Excellent. Guys, I also want you to think we're going to take a time today to think about yourself and to rebrand yourself. So I want you to think about a really funny set of clothes that are really comfortable and really groovy and really good, something like what I'm wearing. And think about, in a few minutes, I'm going to tell you guys to go get changed.
oh,
Something on. You don't have to spend a lot of time getting changed. I like Emmanuel's hat. It could be just a hat. It could be something that just makes you look a little bit different than what you normally are. Could be tie on top of your jumper. It could be just anything that you want to just do something that keeps that makes you look a little bit different. The idea is to just look at what would I look like if I rebranded myself and if I had a new look. That doesn't mean you're going to keep that look. And I want it to be a little bit goofy today, because I want you to think outside the square and just kind of be a bit of a creative thinker for today. Some of you might really take to that and be easy. Some of you might struggle with that. But as you're thinking about what you're going to wear, let me share my screen and just share with you a quick summary of what we did do last week. You guys can see the screen, right? Because last week I think I talked half the time without a screen, which was fun because no one realized. So last week we just looked at how to create $1 million a year business starting from 150K per year, and how could you actually learn to do that? And we looked at what Emmanuel said, what is in your hand. Don't wait for something new, but what's in your hand, and start to imagine what can you do. And hey, I'm applying this to myself too. I'm rebranding. I'm excited about the rebrand and the idea. It's not the first time I've done it. It's about the fourth or fifth time, and it's always good to rebrand yourself. I don't know how many of you have ever done that. If you have ever thought of rebranding yourself, can you put a a chapter, a 888 in the no, we've already done 8. Let's put a 333 in the chat if you have or ever rebranded yourself or thought of branding yourself, right? And if you haven't, it's okay. But if you just thought, okay, what's the new me look like? And sometimes we can think, oh, I'm too old or I'm too set in my ways. No, think about what can be done. Think about the treasure within you that you already have. We talked about the path to financial freedom is actually through financial independence, and it starts with economic independence. And economic independence is doing the things that I want to do regardless of money, and it's willing to sacrifice. The biggest sacrifice you make is changing your mindset. It then moves into stewardship. If you know how to steward well, you can also learn how to multiply. All right. And sometimes things can happen that you don't expect and anticipate, but the principles always remain the same. And if you continue this pathway, then there is no looking back and saying, I wish the old days were better than the new, but it's looking forward instead. Okay. We talked about the 4 levels of getting to from broke to overflow, and how you can go from drought to beginning to prosper, continuing to prosper, and becoming very prosperous. All right. And again, it's in the recording from last week, so you can go and check it. We looked at some very practical ways on how to create 150K per year, and we looked at some ideas on having high income skills and freelancing, entrepreneurship and business ventures. We looked at the idea of investing to do this. We looked at the idea of networking and leveraging relationships, sales, and commission-based work. We looked at other opportunities some of us are in, like cryptocurrency, forex trading, etc. Let me just mute people. Pastor Rubika, I'll make you co-host as well. And Emmanuel, maybe you can help me to just make sure that everyone's muted. Thank you. Okay. And then we looked at also just considering things like risk management, legal and ethical boundaries, skill set and experience. All right. And doing your market research is really, really important as well. All right. So we looked at a few things there, and I think at the end of it, a lot of people said this was very helpful. It helped you to have some practical grounding. And then for some of you that have taken a hold of this, thank you for those who called in and said there's complimentary 60 to 90-minute consult that you can grab a hold of, that I go through with you and work on how you can use the treasure within you. Now I know Hiromi, you said to me, I'm not sure where to start. Where do I go? And great thing. Thank you for bringing that question up, because that's important. When you guys feel maybe you're overwhelmed, there's a lot happening. Where do I start from? All right. And so let me look at something today that might help you guys. And then from that, I also want to think about, for some of you, I've written to you and said, hey, what are some topics that you feel like will be useful for you to be looking at and for us to cover? And so feel free to just let me know privately, just send me a message, and I'd love to really look into that as well. So guys, as we said, it's about the next step in freedom. And today what I want to talk about is about rebranding yourself. And the question is, are you just living life, or are you consciously designing your destiny? Okay, now this is something I did bring up a couple of weeks back as well, this statement, but not what the topic we're going to cover today. So I want to see how engaged, involved you guys are going to be in this. I want to see there's what is it, about 18 of us on, 17 of us on. Let's have 777 in if you're ready to be engaged in this, because it is about conversation. It is about us writing things down. It's about us imagining, thinking. So being on a Zoom sometimes we can have distractions with other things going on our laptop or on our phone, or people talking to us. And what I'd really suggest is, if you want to get the most out of today's session, especially, then can I suggest to you that you just really set focus on this and think about, I've got an exercise for you to do in a few minutes. But I want to see how many are ready to do this. So let's see how many of you are ready. Are we having 17 777s? So let's get one of you guys to count the number of sevens. If we get 17 people in saying, yes, I'm ready, that's including me, then we get going. Now, in the meantime, as we're doing that, then before we go to the exercise, I want to put some music on for about 5 minutes, and I want you guys to turn off your cameras, go change into something, come back. You've got 5 minutes. Okay, one song. And let's see what your rebrand looks like. All right, let's have a bit of fun. Okay, so 5 minutes, turn off your cameras if you have to, probably best to. And then we'll come back and see how everyone's looking on the rebrand. All right, let's do it. And I'll put some music on while we are waiting. Hey, bro, Noji, good to see you. So in case you're wondering why everyone's camera is turned off, is because everyone's gone to rebrand themselves and look a different way, because that's the topic for today. So it's like I've given everyone a 4-minute, they've got about 4 minutes left while I play the song. So feel free if you want to do the same. It's just to think outside the square, like I've rebranded myself. If you want to go and put on some hat or sunglasses or something different that just makes you look different from how you normally look.
Oh, okay. Just to look different, right?
Yes, just look different. All right. I love it. Emmy is looking good. Emmy, I don't know what your rebrand is, but Emmy is looking good. Go, Em. Another. I think Doji's gonna win the prize. Yeah, we go around, do you, bro? Minute and a half to go. Now we see what
Are we dancing as well?
Hey, you can do the jigging. You can do the step. Hey, very good. Look at it. Nice. Yeah, like it. New rebrand. Very good. Em, you're gonna have to wear that the next time I see you. Now that you're coming home, Em, oh, I like the big scarf. I love it. Oh, nice. Ross is heroic. Very
Ross is
good.
like a magician there.
Amazing. Go. Go. And Ross, on the screen. Hey, Manuel, wow. All right, let's look at this. Come on. Amazing. All right, you guys can unmute. Let's look at who do you reckon is really looking like a different brand today? Anyone wanna push point to someone else? And those who haven't yet, turn your camera on. You want to see your rebrand? You got to be in it to win it. Let's do it.
I reckon it's Noji. Love the hair.
I want to know why Noji carries a wig around.
Oh, look at
Nice,
look
Des.
at Darren.
Like the big
Oh,
Awesome.
thank you, Ruby.
really nice. So bro, why do you carry sort of
A wig.
I'm just curious, asking for a friend. Oh, Mom Carol looking good.
Ooh.
You know why I keep this,
Nice.
Ruben?
Why, to keep your head warm?
Every time, no. Every time I go and watch Sevens rugby, obviously I'm from Fiji, and this is the Afro Fijian hair, right?
Ah,
Not my natural hair, so I have to put that on.
you have
So
to put
every
it.
time we go to Sevens, we do that.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's a good thing. All right. So tell me why you chose what you chose. So I'd be interested to know why did you choose what you chose? It might be as simple as I just went to the wardrobe and picked anything and popped it on, or it could be like I really had a bit of a think about this and I decided to wear what I wore. So who wants to go first? Hiromi, Ross, you guys are unmuted. Why did you choose to wear what you're wearing?
I just grabbed one.
It's the first thing we thought of, like 2 hats and we got scarves. So
Yes.
it's pretty chilly, so it suits the weather.
You look like those in the old English sleuths that went around investigating crime scenes, and
It looked like we should be in an MG, the old MGs.
you could
Yes.
be here. There you go. Even better because you got the scarf as well.
Yeah.
And I like the glasses, Ross. Romy, I like the hat.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Very nice. Okay, good. Who else? Emmanuel, what about you, bro? I like your outfit.
Actually, I wanted to wear this beret before, but I said, no, it wouldn't look cool. And so immediately we are saying that we've got to change. I was like, wow, you just gave me the opportunity to still have my beret on. And while I was dressing, I just saw this muffler hanging like a scarf. So I just, okay, let me wrap it around my neck to just make it a little bit stylish.
Wow. You look very stylish. How many of you reckon that Manuel looks very stylish, huh? Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very good.
Very cool. Thank you. What about Kem and M?
Well, I'm going to the beach. I don't know about her. She might be going to the snow.
Good rebrand. And so much of you guys, right? Opposites sometimes in the way you think, but yet in the same place, right? That creates that excellent balance. I like that. Very good. Who
Yeah,
else?
sometimes it's good to look odd, perfect.
Good.
You look
odd.
odd, perfect.
So, Mom Carol, is that what you're doing? Odd perfect?
Yeah,
Yeah. What made you choose what you chose? Is that a
because
scarf?
I just want to look different.
I love that, Mom Carol. I love that. That is so powerful and funny. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Dazza, you've turned off, but how did you choose what you chose? Des, when we wait for Des to come on. Shalindra or Desi's on? Here we go.
Yeah, so
Hey,
I'm
took
up
it
at
off.
Mount
Where is it?
I'm up at Mount Hotham
Oh,
Nice.
at the ski resort. So there's only so much stuff that I've got with me at the moment. And I just thought, yeah, let's put the goggles on and just do something different with the headshot.
Do
So
it
so
again.
I'll put them back on.
Yes, do it again. Do it again.
I'll put them back on.
How's the snow in Mount Hotham?
no.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's fairly deep. I've just arrived. I haven't actually done any skiing yet, but tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday will be some snowboarding with Wilson actually, up there with Wilson and his wife and his family.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and but there's loads of snow. There's loads of snow out the window, so you can probably see it there.
Yeah, wow.
It's,
Look at that. Beautiful.
yeah, it's pretty deep. So it's a good winter. It's been very cold in Melbourne, which always makes a good resort
Amazing.
ski resort season.
Amazing. It's good to have you jumping in all the way from Mount Hotham. Well done. And I like to you in fact could even look like a gamify, multiverse in the universe in the virtual reality. Goggles kind of, could be a different interesting replay. So who else thinks the same, huh? I think that's a very good. I like the look, and especially with, the face and everything. It suits you, bro. Shalindra, what about for you? Yeah.
Yeah. Look, if you can see that.
RF.
Yeah. So he's my idol, perfect gentleman, best of the best in the business. So yeah.
You're talking about Roger Federer?
Yeah.
Wow. Love it. Nice. So someone you would follow after as well, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. What about others? Anyone else has done their rebrand? Joanne, Ajita, Rashid, Jiggy James, Hyacinth, April, Sandy, Deco. Love to see if there's any of you rebranded. Pop your cameras on. Let's see how you guys are viewing and being viewed. Huh? So, is there a reason to all of this? Yes. There's a reason why we're doing this, because sometimes we get stuck in something and we don't know how to head out, and sometimes just thinking different, looking different, feeling different, kind of pushes. How many of you are smiling? How many of you smiled? How many of you were laughing when Noji came on?
Yeah.
Right? How many saw Hiromi and Davidson went, oh, that's different. How many of you when you saw Emmanuel come on, like, wow. Oh, we haven't asked Rubika, what are you wearing, or why did you choose what you chose, Rubika? Very, very elegant scarf.
I think I've always liked the look of the scarf. And yeah, this was the first one I could pull out. So yeah.
Beautiful. So the look of the scarf, I like that. That could be a nice branding name as well. The look of the scarf. Wonderful. Well done. Guys, can you give each of you a high five by putting a 555 in the chat group and say well done? And if you are a couple, give yourself a high five. Give yourself a high five. Done well. Has anyone ever worn something or said something, presented something in their life where they felt like they look silly because they haven't fully believed themselves? Anyone like that? I literally had to think twice in the past if I was to wear something like what I'm wearing right now. Why? Because I think, do I actually believe in what I look like? So how many of you here, on a scale of 1 to 10, no, yes or no, yes or no, have ever, decided to change your look, change the way you might do your investments, or if you're in business, change the way you might believe in something and have a belief and you want to share it with someone, and you're not confident because you're kind of like second guessing yourself. Anyone like that? Yes, if it's a Y for yes, an N for no, and an IDK for I don't know. How many of you have ever been in that position where you're like, oh, I don't know if I can really um, how does this look? I don't know if the first time Noji went out to the games with that hair, like, what if it falls off? Is this really who I am? Am I comfortable in this? Uh, so Kem and Emma said yes. What about others? Have you ever felt unsure of yourself when you are putting down, talking to people about something new that you're doing in life, something that you have suddenly started to believe that was different from your beliefs in the past, or something that you want to create as a new brand? But you're not, in your mind, it looks exceptionally well, but all of a sudden, it's like, is this really what, or not? Yeah, a few, Rubika, Emmanuel. Yeah. What about others? Is that something where you've felt, oh, am I confident in being able to deliver this? Okay. And what we want to talk about today is about that rebranding, guys, because in July, as we step in with the level of belief that we have, the question is, how much do we actually want to push through into designing our destiny rather than just living it? Okay. So how do I consciously design what I look like? So I just have one slide that I want you to work on today. And I'm going to give you some time to think about this. It's about time to rebrand yourself. And I have two questions that I want you to think about. The first question is, who do you want to be known as? Not after you die, right now. Who do you want to be known as? And I want you to write down 5 things you would like described about you. Example, he or she is a generous person, a confident person, a genuine person, a caring person. But try and flesh it out as much as you can. Who do you want to be known as? And the second question is, what do you want to be known for? Write down 5 things you'd like to have accomplished in your life in a significant way. Example, I'm creating $1 billion company. I'm traveling the world. I'm spending time building people. Write down answers to these questions. Now, they're not getting perfect, but at least 5 things. Why? Because when you start to think this way, you start to create in yourself a self-belief that will actually connect with who and pull out who you really are. A lot of people stumble upon sometimes success. A lot of people sometimes want success but don't seem to get there. What if you can consciously design what you're going to be? Because it's already been, if you like, there's already been a pre-creation of your fullest potential. How it pans out is up to you. But what the talents, the abilities, the things that you have been born with, the environment you are in, the experiences you've had, those things have all come up to this point where you can design yourself into a place that's going to be amazing. So I'm going to put some music on, and for about 10 minutes, guys, put a 1 in the chat group if you're getting the question. Okay. And if it's making sense, I want you to spend a few minutes just answering these 2 questions. Who do you want to be known as, and what do you want to be known for? I'm going to put some music on as we think through that. How's everyone doing? Let's hear from a few of you. I'd like to share some things here on rebranding. This will really make a difference once you take into account something. It starts to draw out who we are, because oftentimes we are caught up by the things that we have grown up with that are good and bad, the way people talk to us, maybe the way we learned something in school, maybe just how we learn to deal with situations in life. And sometimes we miss who we really are, right? But as we step more in taking time to think about some questions like this, I find that every time I do this, it helps me tap back into who I really am, that authentic person of who I am, and reminds me of when I tap into that place, I feel the most free and the most passion comes in. And it's not a striving to get there anymore, but it's living from a place of that excitement of this is what I want to be known as, this is what I want to be known for. And so let's hear from a few of you. And again, this is not a perfect answer. This is just think about what do I want to be known as? What do I want to be known for? Who wants to have a go?
Well, I can start, I guess.
All right, go for it.
Yeah. The two sections overlap for me. Who do you want to be known as? First one, generous, genuine, caring, loving. And then a kingdom guy, which means a follower of Jesus. And number 5, singer-songwriter. And what do you want to be known for? Helping people in need, being generous, being forgiving, a son serving the father, and changing people's lives through songs.
Wow.
So I just, as you were speaking, Ruben, I just thought it's like everyone's got a T-shirt underneath their jacket with all their abilities and their character, or the characteristics.
Mm.
And no, the world doesn't see it until they just open up the jacket, and it's there anyway. See?
Wow. I love that. Reminds me of what Brené Brown says, that courage is born through vulnerability. And when you talked about opening the jacket, it's being vulnerable, because it's like you're exposing your heart, your soul, the feelings, but at the same time, you're showing your strengths, who you are, and that's very powerful. Our mind is the biggest key to unlocking so much. And when we are vulnerable, it means that our mind is saying as well, I'm willing to be open to sharing my journey with others and be confident of who I am. So that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Ross. Who else wants to go next?
Em go.
You guys.
Okay, I go. For myself, I'm a generous giver and caring and nurturing. Travel around the world, have investment properties, and help our communities, especially our Project 61, to have an institution of their own in each nation, to be able to have educational, kingdom academic background, and also their identity, to know their identity and whose they are and who they belong to. Also, I like to travel around the galaxies with our families. And yeah, just have fun while we're still here on Earth. Have fun, but also be positive with what life we have right now. That's it.
Wow. Love that. Beautiful. One of the things, as you were saying, that was drawing out was this creativity to say, I travel around the galaxies, we've talked about that before, and and then just the investments and known for who I am, what I do. Very good. Thank you. Em, who else? Who wants to go next?
Yes, me, Ruben. Can
The
I
head.
go?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you want to be known as? Well, I want to be known as a confident person, a kind person, a helpful person, a caring and humble, and I want to be also remembered as a spiritual person, and sociable as well. I like to socialize and I love to mix with all kinds of people all over the world, and I make friends very, very easily. And I love to explore people because I always want to learn from people. So those are the things that I always want to help others no matter what, to be kind and humble. And every day is a blessing to be helping someone. And I work in the hospital environment, in cardiology. So I'm very genuinely helping people, and doing it with my heart. For known for what I want to do, what was the second one? So known for, I want to be known for a successful entrepreneur. I want to be known as a good husband and a good father. I want to be known as a motivational leader. I am passionate about life and living, and I want to be always looked at a person who always enjoyed life to the fullest and always wanted to travel and explore the world. Because for me, being in the well is like a toad, and seeing the world is like a turtle, because a toad will never understand a turtle's ocean. So I want to be a turtle, not a toad. Yes, I want to be a charity worker. I want to give to the community, and before I end my life, I want to give a lot to the society that I would be remembered for. So those are the things that I want to be remembered for. Thank you.
Oh, love it. Amazing. Love the clarity and the surety of what you want and what you want to be known for, uh, what you want to be known as, and what you want to be known for, which is great, bro. Thank you. It's interesting so far. No one has said, I want to be known as a hard worker by my employer. I want to be known for being loyal to my workplace, right? Where we spend most of our time, a lot of people spend most of their time, right? It's interesting. Just a thought when we're thinking about what we want to be known as and for. Okay. Who wants to go next?
Can I
I'll have
go?
a go.
All right. We got three people.
Okay. Yeah,
Carol, Darren, and Emmanuel. Who's going to go? Mom Carol's just going, yep, I'm just doing it.
I
Go.
want to be known as a woman of generosity, giver. I mean, a woman of generous giver and passionate heart. And again, I want to be known as a traveler who enjoys everywhere I go. I want to be known as a woman of truth and accountability. I am anyway, and I want to be known as that. I want to be known as a creative person, having my creation in places. To be known as a loyal woman, a standing wife, and mother. Then what I want to accomplish, I think, let me just read before. I didn't finish it. I want to accomplish being an author of 6 children's book. To see myself accomplished by composing songs. So I want my songs to be accomplished, composition of my songs. I want to accomplish being a woman who does not condone evil and injustice. Yes.
Wow. Love it. Something that stood out to me was I want my creations to be displayed in different places. That really, I really believe that was going to happen. And just everywhere you go, when you go to a hotel or when you go to somebody's house, when you go somewhere, just imagine one of my creations is going to be displayed there. One of my creations is going to be there. It'll be amazing to see different countries, different places. Let's wait and see what'll happen. Now, some of you might ask, what has this got to do with wealth? When we know what we're going to steward, the money comes in. because wealth is more than just the money, right? But money is such an important aspect. I'm not downplaying money. We need money. To do stuff, we need money. But at the same time, we can do things regardless of money. And one of the things we can do regardless of money is dream. And from our dreams is take action. And our minds can become very disciplined with that, because once it is, then the discipline of creating something beyond just money for the sake of money is very powerful. Okay. And so what you're doing today, last week we talked about how to create practically, make $150,000. How do you get started? How do you give us some ideas? And again, was not talking from something that's in the sky, something that actually I have done as well, and I've seen take place, and I can you can keep doing, you can keep doing it over and over again, and then grow in capacity. Today, this week, we're talking about what do I want to be known for and as a rebrand. Okay, what is the rest of 2024 and the years to come, the next 10, 20, 30, 50, 70 years, what's it going to look like? Okay, a lot of people are waiting are working till they retire, and then once they retire, they've not even thought about what they're going to do. They'll say something like, I'll go play golf every day. You're not going to play golf 365 days of the year, I'm sorry to say. I don't know anyone who it is. Or I'll go shopping every day. You're not going to shop every day. I'll shop till I drop. You're not going to. I'll travel the world. Where? When? You'll become more specific on things that are significant and important, right? So it's really exciting as everyone's sharing. Darren, go next before anyone else jumps in, and then we go Emmanuel after that, and then the next person after that.
Yeah. So I want to be known as an adventurous and courageous leader, someone who's loving, spiritual father, disciple, and mentor, dream coach, dream builder, and synergistic. And I want to be known for being a loving and supportive husband and a great dad who creates a safe atmosphere for my family. I want to grow warrior spirit adventures locally, nationally, and internationally to multiply frontline spiritual warriors. So worship warriors, prayer warriors, fivefold ministry, secondary teachers, chaplains, life coaches, kingdom business warriors and missionary warriors. And I want to be a world-class dream coach for God's end time army, which is described in Joel chapter 2, help young people to find, fund, and fulfill their God-given assignments, their life purpose, life message. I want to be an entrepreneurial missionary who reaches unreached people groups in Nepal, and a spiritual father who makes disciple makers, a mentor and a dream coach, and a very successful real estate investor.
Wow.
There's a fair bit there.
Amazing. I love the clarity of that. Guys, how awesome is that? Who thinks that's awesome? Who's excited about that? Thank you, Darren. That's I love it. And I love the you just didn't describe it in one word, but there were like two words to most of what you described. And that kind of added like this zest to it, which is very exciting. I think the idea to when we talk about rebranding is being able to speak this out, every day. What if, guys, you stood in front of the mirror every day and said, this is what I want to do? It took you 30 seconds to a minute to just describe it now. So far, everyone's taken about 30 seconds to a minute. What if we kept doing that every day until it became part of us, a sense of who we are? This is what I want to be known for. This is what I want to be known as. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. So precision vision is what I've heard it very recently. Benji Alexander describes it as precision vision.
Precision vision. Very nice. When you said, I want to be a world-class dream coach, not just a dream coach, world-class, it was awesome. So things like that, just that precision vision. Very good. Awesome. Emmanuel, you're up.
Finally, my turn.
It is.
All right. Who do you want to be known as? Number one, I want to be known as a true friend. It's something we don't really have these days. Everybody claims to be your friend, When you are sitting in a company, they will tell you all the nice things your ears have never heard. But when you get out of the meeting, they will say, look at that fool. So I want to be a true friend. and I want to be a peacemaker. I am a lover of peace. I want to be a peacemaker. I want to be a true leader. If I've lived as much as I am my maker, I've decided I want people to talk about my leadership and, you know, how I've impacted in the life of people. Basically, I want to clone myself. I want to clone myself and just live, because that's what leadership is all about. You know, joining this section, they are trying to feed us with your mind. You are investing in our mind, what's in your mind, and the principle that has been working for you. So yeah, I want to be that. And I was born with one gift. Like I normally say, I'm very business minded. I want to be a business minded person. Like when I'm not there, we will be like, oh, if Emmanuel is here, we will talk sense into this business opportunity. So that's the first question. The second one, I want to be known for my holiness. Now, when I say holiness, that doesn't really mean I'm without sin or I'm perfect, but what I say, who I am and what I do is one. So I can't tell you I'm blue in the morning and at night I'm purple. So you are confused about who I am. I want to be a person of character. I want to be a person of character. I want people to know me for my discipline, because for you to achieve wealth, you have to be disciplined. And I don't want to change my principle. The principle that is working for you might not work for me. So I have to be disciplined in my pace. I'm still running the race, but I can't say because you're faster than me, I should just probably take some energy boost to run to meet you. No, I want to maintain my pace and I have to be disciplined. And I want people to know me for my principle. So I'm about coming with some weird principle that will definitely work for me. So that's all about from me.
I love that. Thank you. I'm stuck on cloning yourself. I'm going to see lots of Emmanuels running around. But I like the way you're rebranding yourself. Imagine being a brand that says, I am a brand of many multiple people that look like me. But that's awesome, bro. Guys, why I want us to each of us share here is we could have gone into smaller groups and shared, but it's just celebrating one another, remembering as well, and reminding each other how we feel. We may not get through everyone because hours pretty much up, and we're going to go into a little bit over time. But I want to give one or two more people just the opportunity to share so that we can just be again encourage one another, and also we encourage ourselves when we hear this. So one or two others, and then we'll finish off for the session. Anyone else want to have a go at what do we want to be known for and what we want known as? Rossi, were you saying something? You're muted, so I didn't.
You got me? Yeah. I think Jerry.
Can I say something for everybody? May I amuse you? We want to be known as heavenly people. We will be seated with Christ Jesus at the end.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why not? That is what we want to be known as. Rossi, you were saying something as well.
I think Jerry wants to say something.
Jiggy James, we need to hear from you.
Yep, I'm here.
Hello.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yes. So my first part is I'm going to be an outgoing person with good personality, generous, child of God, a community helper, and a dancer for sure. So the other part is going to be a flag dancer, carries the father's heart, child of God again, good steward with character, and a good husband and a father.
Love it. Beautiful. Guys, are you seeing, most of us, no one is saying, I want to earn lots of money to just, or I want to work really hard in a job. I want to, we're all using what we have gained to be able to achieve something else, right? I want to be known for this achievement. And so my question is,
I talk.
yes, give me a second. I'll finish this. And yes, you can. My question is, what are we spending most of our time thinking about? Because we're thinking about how do I go to work every day, or how do I accomplish a task, and miss this part then we take a lot of time to accomplish the second part, right? But when I begin to put my focus on what do I want to be known as and known for, then this part helps to accomplish this part. Going to work helps to accomplish this part. Earning an income helps to accomplish this part. But then I'm also thinking further of how do I create more wealth? How do I create more income? How do I produce more so it produces more, right? Hopefully that helps as we, because I know it's definitely helped me in my journey. Teresa, yes, go for it.
Yeah, I want to be known as a simple, respectful, and caring woman.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I want to be known for my generosity. That's why I'm trying to, have this business so that I will make money. Working for people will not make me to achieve my aim because I have a big vision of helping people around me. I want to I want to be changing people's life. That is what I'm out for, so that people around me will be comfortable, helping them to get what they need, working for them. That is the way I think I can work for God. Because when you help people, you are doing the work of God. So that is what I want to be known for, so that people around me will always benefit from me. And I'll be known for people. I'll be known as somebody who people will trust. That coming to me, they'll get what they want. And this is being achieved with not just by talking, but by doing. So, and most times we work with money. So when I have all these investments, I'll be able to, to sort out people's problems and at the same time help myself, because I like traveling, which I've not started by now because I have not created enough wealth for my travel. But that's one of my vision. Then traveling around the world, and at the same time helping to build my church. Yeah, that's it.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you, Teresa. I love Teresa's at work and she still jumped in and she's listening and now contributing, and that's great. Thank you so much. And wow, that's exciting. Huh? I love some things you're about to accomplish, some things you're in the middle of. You're thinking through even the investments and realizing work cannot just do something for you. You need to do something else. So this is a journey, guys. Each step is really important. Before we finish off, I want to just give Noji a few minutes. We were having a really good conversation earlier today, and about the idea of the word try. When people, I was just saying about people coming to the wealth creation program, to the other platforms, and he said there's no such thing as try. I said, what do you mean? And it gave me a really amazing discord on that, plus some other things on the mind. And so, guys, I want you to just pay attention because it's very good. It'll help us. It's in line with the rebranding of our mind. Brother Noji, with the new hairstyle, over to you. You're muted, so we are not hearing anything.
Thank you. Thank you, Ruben. Thank you. Well, I didn't know we were gonna do this at the end, but anyway, which is always good to share, and we are here for a reason. And I think one of the biggest things, yes, me and Ruben were having a discussion about a few things about Ruben mentioning something, and then the conversation went on. And I said something, and then I said, no, I shouldn't say that because try is not in my dictionary. And Ruben said, why are you saying try is not a good word? I said, well, if someone is calling you to attend a function or calling them at your place or at their place, and you say, okay, I'll try. So 90% of them, your mind has already made a decision, you will not go. And that 10% will be right at the end of that few minutes when he's ringing you and says, sorry, brother, I can't come. Because your mind has already made the decision. So that's why I said to him, I said, don't use the word try. Try to use the word. Try to use the word, which is I will. Because when you say I will, there is a commitment attached to it. Even if you are facing difficulties of not being there, you will still want to go. That's the power of words and how we articulate words to our life every day. And it's very important what we choose, what we utter from our mouth, what we see, how we behave, and your mindset is very, very powerful. Your mind is the master, it's the dictator. And your body is just does the thing whatever the mind dictates. So the mind is the master. So most of the time we do forget that the mind is such a powerful tool that we have, that we can achieve and attain anything in life if we totally are committed with conviction and believe that nothing is impossible. And when we do believe that, then just not yourself, the environment, the universe, everything will be aligned for you to bring that one thing for you in your life. Say, for example, if you look at everything that is around you right now in your house, everything that you see physical, everything that you're wearing, everything that is around you was actually created in someone's mind before it really physically manifested. So that is the power of the mind to create something that is not even manifested. That's creating something from nothingness to something physical. That's what the power of the mind can do. So the mind can actually move the matter. So your beliefs, just the waves of your mind can reach distances and distances and hit stars and other parallel universes and everything. That's how incredible your mind is. So whether it's every day when we are doing every actions we're taking, right from the day we were born till today, everything is in our subconscious. Everything, that the way we behave, the way we talk, the way we articulate ourselves, everything is in our hard drive. Now, our conscious mind is every day making that decision, and it's going to be logged in your subconscious. So you can change your subconscious by changing your consciousness today. And I'm glad that everyone today, when we're choosing what we want to be and what we want to be remembered for, everyone gave that answer, because ultimately we all want one thing, that is freedom. By getting the freedom, you'll be able to get happiness. And ultimately, with happiness, the only thing that human beings and everyone wants is love. And when you are in love, unconditional love, you are one and with the universe. That time you are giving, you're loving, you're kind, you are generous, because that's your true potential. So money is secondary, but everything that we're trying to accumulate is we wanting our freedom to being loved, and we love other people. So the mind is very, 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 very powerful, because the mind is trying to process so many things. The conscious mind is processing millions of things at once. It's traveling faster than light. You can go to any universe anytime, right? But it is important that how many things you process each time. It's like a small window. If you try to push 5, 6 people in one small window, it's very, very difficult. So the mind is also can be very, very cluttered, and clarity doesn't come up when you're thinking of a lot of things at once. So when people eat food, they watch movies, right? So you don't really enjoy the food. You don't savor the food. You don't enjoy the food. You're talking to other people and you don't know how you've eaten the food. When you drive to your destination, you didn't know how you reached there because you are not conscious. You're not conscious of how you articulate yourself, how you walk, how you take steps. People don't concentrate or are conscious about their breathing. Now, this is very, very important to understand, that every time that you're breathing, you should be conscious about it. The more conscious you are to yourself, the more attuned to nature, with nature you are, the more you'll be willing to get, and the more you will be productive, the more you'll enhance your life, the more you'll achieve in life, the more you'll help other people in life. It's just being by conscious. And when I say conscious, I mean when you eat food, become the food. When I say when you be aware of your breath. When you walk every step, be aware of your steps, be aware of the surroundings. The power of the mind is incredible. And when you understand your own mind, when you understand who you are, you really will be in tune with nature, and then everything will change. You'll rebrand yourself. So, just with these little words, I hope it makes sense. Try to focus on the things that you do and try to give you 100%. Sometimes when we see people sitting on the table talking, someone is on the phone, someone is invited you doing something, and that's the etiquette. You don't want to do that. You want to be 100% aware of when you're here, when you're listening to Rueben, make sure give 110% to listening to Rueben. Or when you're saying something, be committed, say something with all that conviction that, sometimes when you see people walking in the room, no one notices. Whereas other time when people come in, everyone notices that person. It's just the energy, and our mind is full of these different types of energies and waves. It's just like when you listen to the radio, your best song playing, and you go like, okay, well, I can't listen to this song because there's a crackling noise. So you try to adjust the radio, right? Your mind is always adjusting to a tune which you are connected to the other person or the universe, and everything is synchronized. So always be aware of yourself. And from tomorrow, if you are aware of yourself more, you'll feel that you are more accomplished, and whatever you are achieving, trying to have a purpose in life, you will be better and you'll become better, and everyone will see that in you as well. So thank you, Ruben, for giving me a few minutes to share with everyone. It's a pleasure to be always coming and listening to Ruben, and all of you. You are all great, and I'm blessed to be part of you all. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much, guys. Can we just thank Noji? Let's put a 999 in our chat group and thank him, and I'll keep him reminding us all that we need to pay attention. Right? That's an important thing. I think that's so true. It's good to when we're focused on something, we also absorb the most in here, and we are creating a beautiful tribe together that's going to do great things. Because one thing I really love is the synergy of everyone's like-minded in heart, in helping more and giving more, and also living and having fun, right? We don't want on one extreme people to be just spending for themselves and not thinking about anyone else. But on the other hand, don't want people who are just keeping money, hoarding, and never spending even on themselves. Have you ever met people like that? They die billionaires and they've never even lived a life like that, right? How sad that would be, because we take nothing, right? One of the things that has really been on my mind is, why do I want to pay off my home before I die? What's the purpose? Because I used to always want to pay off all my debts. I hate debt. Can't stand it. Don't want to owe anyone anything. And then, just being challenged by that and going, when I think about my dad before he passed, he bought a house that was about just under $200,000, and he paid off the debt over 30-year loan. But if he hadn't, and the house is worth $800 to $1 million now, would I be concerned it being passed down to the family, having a $200,000 debt when it's worth $1 million? If you think from that perspective, if you had $1 million debt on a property that's worth $5 million when you pass, and you pass it on to your generation, but it's got $1 million debt, but it's worth $5 million, is that an issue? You have to pay your completely pay it down, or what could you use the money for? And those are things, just thoughts. I'm not saying one way is better than the other. I'm just saying I want you guys to think that, because I was spending a lot of my time and effort just wanting to pay my debts down as quickly as possible. Pay all your debts. Don't get me wrong. Credit card debts, pay them off. Pay off bad debts. Pay off bills that you're owing, all of that. But things like property and assets, think about growth and think about using, and think about the fact that banks want to lend you, and if they can, they charge 9%, but you can put into something else that's making 30%, and you're paying this loan plus having extra cash here. Just think about how those things work, because those are the habits of the wealthy that are important to keep in mind, and they make a big difference, right? So mindsets are such an important thing, changing our thoughts. Shailendra, bro, your second time here. Thank you for being on. It's so good to have you on. What are any concluding thoughts? Hopefully your microphone is fixed.
Yeah, it is. Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, I think it was awesome. Just sitting back and we don't normally, give ourselves time to think about these small things. We are so much caught up in the day-to-day routine. So I think it was really good to just sit back and listen to people and, just think about these precious things in life, the ideas, why you are here, what do you want to do? And we don't ask ourselves these questions anyway, but I think it was good. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think one of the things also I want to leave with you guys before we finish is, I often say, don't leave a legacy, live it. So if I say I want to be known as a generous man, then I need to do that every day, not just when I have more, but when I have. And you don't need money to be generous. Your time, giving attention to someone, just spending some quality time asking someone how they are and listening. That's generosity in itself. Yes, Shalendra, bro.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to say here is, look, everybody, I mean, who has a family would work hard and earn for the family. And I mean, you do that, you sort of fulfill your duties. But the real satisfaction in life comes from when you do things for others, you make lives better for others, and then the happiness that you get back. And I mean, you get back in return, which money can't give it to you. So it's something beyond money. So yeah, I think it's a feeling, and you can really realize it only when you do it. And when you get that feeling, then you can really sort of marvel at, what you've been missing.
Beautiful. I love it. It's interesting. We were watching a movie the other day, and it was called, what was the movie we went to watch, Rubika and Keminem? It was just
Unsung hero.
Unsung Hero. And these guys moved from Australia to America, and they were meant to have a good recording deal, and that fell through. And they have, like, I think 6 children, right? It was husband and wife with 5 or 6 children. Anyway, I like one point where they say, like, they're struggling, there's no money, and all of a sudden the wife says, but the children don't know the difference, they're happy. And it's like, yeah, it's like sometimes we get stressed about life, but we don't realize our own family, they want the relationship more than anything else. And I was just thinking the other day, just a few days ago, I was looking at my kids running up and down, the younger two, and they're laughing and they're joking one minute, next minute they're fighting with each other, next minute they're laughing again and giggling. And like, they have no care that, oh, there's a bill here to be paid, or there's work to be done here, and the burden is not there. And oftentimes we must remember those things sometimes, rather than putting on our kids, do you not know that I've been working so hard for you? Or do you know how much sacrifice I've done for you? I stopped saying that 10 years ago with my children. I started just celebrating them and not needing them to know what I have had to sacrifice for them, because I don't want them to do that on their families. Just that level of living our legacy is so important. So, Selena, thank you for sharing that. That is very powerful and important. Guys,
I just wanted to add something, Ruben, in line with what you said. It's also very, very important. Two things I want to add is, one, to what you said and something Shalendra said. It's very, very important to sometimes have the child mentality. And be very open, like a child. You always are very restricted to when you are grown-ups, because when you ask a child what they want to become and what they want to do, they with so much confidence they'll say, I want to become this. But as adults, we have been exposed to fear and uncertainty, that we always don't want to do certain things because we always think we'll get trapped, we'll get this, but we don't have that child mentality. Is because of the things that have been exposed to us by other people in the environment and things. So it's sometimes important to be chill and not worry about things, and not worry about finance and responsibilities, jobs. Yes, you have to do that, but mind, you have to free yourself. As soon as you bind yourself with mind, you're caught up. And what Salendra said is, yes, giving to others. Someone very well said that if you spend $1 to yourself and the same dollar to someone else who needs it, that happiness is everlasting. Because you may spend $1 buying one cigar and smoking it, but someone who needed, say another $1 for lunch, and he gave it to that person who needed it most, you will feel that everlasting happiness. It'll never end. So it's important sometimes very important to share. And one of the examples I give is when long time ago, when we used to pay toll, right? When you go across the bridge and you pay toll, we used to put coins, right? And I used to always pay the driver at the back. Whoever, I don't know who that person was, I'll always throw that extra money and say, hi, this is for the driver at the back. Because I was told that if everyone pays everyone, no one will pay toll ever, right? So I started doing that, and people will just salute me and go, and it makes my day as well. It's just like, $1 or $2 it was, and it just gave me that satisfaction or going to a restaurant and someone is maybe, having food or drink, and you buy something small and then say to, someone, give it to their table. That's something that I practiced a lot. Or you're going to buy the coffee in the morning, you're going to Zarafas and someone is at the back and you pay for them, just one cup of coffee. That's it. So it's a good way to practice something like that where you feel so good about it. So thank you, Shalendra.
Love it. Shalendra, you were going to add?
Yeah, what I was saying was, when you were speaking, Preeti was sitting on the side, and I just turned to her, and she was nodding her head, saying, "Very true, very true." So,
yeah. Amazing. No, look, it's good, guys. There's a maturity in building teams like this where it's not just let's go find money. When we find the money, we have a place where it's kept well. It's like a good foundation, and those are the principles that will last long. And even when things go down, we can, we know how to go up again. Like I always say, it's like having a toolbox. You know how it doesn't mean there'll never be problems, but when there's a problem, you know how to handle it with the toolbox. But also when you have a surplus, you know how to channel it well, right? Is that true? Although I'm a terrible handyman, so don't ask me for any help. I have a toolbox that the handyman laugh at because it's a tiny little thing. But there's a job for me.
Until the handle breaks.
Until the handle breaks. Hey, hasn't broken yet. So all good. Awesome, guys. Thank you, Ajita. I got to see a snapshot of your branded look. So while we were doing something.
That's Benjamin.
Was it Benji? Hey, Benji.
No laughing matter.
Benji, what's your branded look? Let's have a quick.
Yeah, he was. I told that he was just listening to the chat, and then what was going on, and he was like, "Okay," I said that we are dressing up, and then he dressed up as Sherlock Holmes.
I love it. Awesome. Is he still dressed up, or is he undressed?
Oh, he's undressed at the moment. Yeah.
Next week, Benji, we'll want to see Sherlock Holmes in full. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you again so much. I'll pass it back to Emmanuel, our host. Let him finish off. But thank you, and Emmanuel, great hosting. Well done. M, thank you for helping organize everything every week and getting our hosts together as well.
Thank you, Pastor Rueben. Excellent teaching. I want us to drop back the 888. I'm gonna love this number just to say thank you, because it's not really easy to pull out stuff well coordinated and dishing it out to us. And I will say to your tent, O Israel, but not to go and sleep. All right, let's get back to work. Let's get back to work to manifest everything we have learned today. And you do well and enjoy the rest of your week, and good night to you.
Awesome. Good night. Thank you, Emmanuel. Mercy, good to see you as well, my dear. What a blessing.